Only on CBS Mornings. We like when we can say that. The great Food and Wine magazine is revealing its annual list of America's best new chefs. This year's lineup, this is a national competition, more than 8 states around the country, and one of them is New York, right here in our own backyard. Ed Szymanski. For our series, The Dish, Szymanski is proving at his New York restaurants Dane and Lord's that modern British cuisine is much more than pot roast.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, it's so good. It's really good. Oh my gosh. If you don't mind, I'd like a moment alone with the French fry. Oh my gosh. It's delicious.
I'm no professional food critic,
That is amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
but trust me when I say Ed Szymanski's cooking is, as one actual professional food critic put it, glorious.
Well, that's the best part of doing this for a living. It's watching the satisfaction on customers' faces.
I heard very little of that because of the crunch.
As a baby-faced 30-year-old, Szymanski is head chef of 2 bustling New York City restaurants,
Can I have a spoon, please?
which he runs with his wife, Patricia. One is a casually high-end seafood spot called Dane,
This is a grilled oyster with the green chartreuse hollandaise on top.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
and a short walk away, the other, a larger, more meat-focused bistro called Lord's. Neither spot takes itself too seriously, and neither does Szymanski, preferring a t-shirt to a chef's coat, and on his feet, well,
They're like night slippers or something.
Yeah. Most people who have reached chefdom tend to buy slightly more expensive ones, but humble boy at heart, I guess. They do the job.
that job is wowing Americans with food from one of the world's less appreciated culinary traditions.
I already get laughed out of the room when I tell people that the hottest new restaurants in New York are British restaurants. I think British food can be incredibly delicious. Britain, it's a very small island, but one that's influenced by a lot of different cultures over centuries.
What began with fish and chips
And the fish floats instantly.
has now moved into edgier English classics, including a Scotch egg with curry-spiced lamb.
It satisfies some of those medieval cravings, like the caveman. I like fat and acid, I like salt, I like a little spice.
That is so good. That is lights out.
And a full pig's head, breaded and fried.
That's really delicious.
I think it's a moral burden on us if we choose to eat meat, to eat every part of the animal and not to throw the other parts in the trash. But that's only one side of it. The other side is that it's actually really delicious.
I'm a little bit confused about your path into the kitchen because you were not meant to be a chef. Do I have that right?
That's true. I was the weird kid who had decided I wanted to be an investment banker. It's like, that's what I want to do in my life at 11 years old. But I pursued it pretty doggedly for years and realized after setting foot in an asset management firm, maybe this isn't for me.
Instead, a volunteer job at a restaurant changed his life.
I stepped into that kitchen and the personalities and the food and smells, and I thought that the restaurant was the coolest place to be.
You're going to be a best new chef, food and wine honoree.
When I found out the news, I was shocked. I didn't think that's something that would ever happen to me.
For more than 3 decades, Food and Wine has published an annual list of best new chefs, described as the most exciting emerging culinary talent in America.
Ed's take on modern British food is really fresh, very seasonal. Ed's doing something that nobody else in the country is doing. And if we think about the history of Best New Chefs, that first class was Thomas Keller, Daniel Boulud, Rick Bayless, Nancy Silverton, David Chang. These are the chefs who have helped shape cuisine in America over the past 34 years, and this new class will do the same over the next couple of decades.
This year's awards put a particular focus on great chefs
Thank you.
who are also cultivating kindness in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, you have a sign that says, be positive. Where does that come from? How do you maintain it?
You know, a lot of it comes from experience and making mistakes of my own and seeing how one is perceived when they raise their voice or do silly things or yell. And I want to set the example from the top down that you need to be very understanding and supportive of your staff. It seems so silly once you see how great it can be if everyone is supportive of each other.
Are you calling Gordon Ramsay silly? And then could you speak into this camera right here?
I think Gordon is a terrible representative of kitchen culture. I mean, that kitchen culture, if it didn't die 20 years ago, it should be dead now and buried way underground. Like, there's no place for that in this day.
But if I had a $20 million check for you to stand in front of a British flag with your arms crossed and a vein popping in your neck, you would take it.
$30 million I might take it.
For now, Szymanski is thinking about his next new restaurant, while also hoping
the magic never ends.
How do you deal with the doubt?
Well, these kind of awards help a lot. Seeing the customers respond positively to the food. I would give it all away if it meant I had a busy restaurant every night packed with people who are excited to eat the food. That's what I really care about.
That is the goal. He's amazing. The British food he cooks is amazing. Food and Wine's list of best new chefs is lights out. Great. Changes lives. I'm seeing it tonight. We're going to talk more this week about other people on the list. Yes, I am.
Right.
I'm nervous. I like chefs, Gayle.
No, that'll be. I do too.